Today, beer can chicken. Hello everybody, I'm Dave, and from my back garden I'll be making delicious food that everybody can make. Let me show you around. This is Dinner with Dave. If you write down barbecue, kamado, all these kinds of words, you'll probably end up with the beer can chicken. Well, beer can chicken, it's a pretty easy dish, but it's giving that euphoria when you made it. It's looking so nice with the crispy skin, that kind of stuff. And yes, I want to show that everybody can make it. So I got myself a nice little chicken and we're gonna prepare this dish. What do we need? We need the chicken, we need some mustard, we need some beer of course, and we're gonna need a rub. And I already made a rub. I also made a video about it. I made a video about a rub for chicken, and I also made a video about rub for all other kinds of meats like spare ribs, briskets, that kind of stuff. You can find the link somewhere up there. So if you want to check out how I made this rub, you can do it by just clicking the link. Well, let's start with making the chicken, preparing the chicken, because it's gonna take a little while. So first we're gonna add the rub. For that I'm gonna use some gloves. And we're gonna use the mustard. And of course, using gloves because I don't want everything covered on the chicken, with the chicken. So we're gonna take the mustard, the French mustard. You can also use oil, but I prefer mustard. Why is that? Because the flavor will be extra. The extra flavor will do the thing. And it doesn't have to be really thick, because it's only so the rub will stick on it. So yeah, make sure you're gonna cover every bit of chicken with the mustard. The wings. That's the back side. Then the front. There we go. So rub everything in, just to get it sticky. A little bit of the insides. Check if you see some strange parts. In this case I see nothing. The butcher really nicely cleaned this chicken. And then I'm gonna flip it over. I'm gonna remove one glove without spoiling everything. There we go. And then we're gonna take the rub. Best way to use my rub, the one I made, give it a little shake. So just legs. So nice even layer. Everything's nicely covered right now. So now it's time to give it a rest. Put it in your fridge and give it like 1 hour, just so the flavors will slightly go into the meat. I'll be back in an hour with this chicken and we're gonna put it on the kamado. I'm gonna use my kamado, and with my kamado, the bastard, I've got a little extra feature. The extra feature, besides the grill of course, is that in my basket, in the basket I've got, there's a little divider. So I can choose if I want to use the whole basket or if I just want to use one side. So for this one, I'm only going to use one side. So how am I going to do it? I'm going to use some charcoal, and the charcoal I usually use is from Basset itself, and it's Cabracho. Yes, why this one? It's a really hard wood, and it will burn longer than the average wood. So that's what I'm using. For this I'm always going to use my gloves. I don't want the charcoal to completely mess up my hands. It will give some black marks, and sometimes it's really hard to get it off. And I'm just going to take some charcoal and I'm going to fill up one side. Some big pieces, some small pieces. So, there we go, got a few in. Then the thing I use to start up my fire are fire starters. These kinds of things. You can open them up, put them into the charcoal, and you can light them. But before you're gonna do it with any kamado, you need to open the bottom airflow and the top airflow, and then you can light it. So most of the times I take one of these strings, I'll grab my lighter, light it up and put it in. Now this will take quite a while. This will really take quite a while, like 30 to 40 minutes before it's completely hot. But in the meanwhile you can do other things. Just leave it, let it go, and it doesn't really matter. Well, for today I want to have the temperature around 160 degrees. So I'm gonna take a little bit care. I'm gonna look now and then how the temperature will do. After the fire starter is burned, I will check out and close the lid, and now and then checking on the temperature. You can also adjust the temperature. If you want to have it lower, you can close this lid a little bit so you've got a small hole there. And you can also adjust it by getting less air out on the top. At the moment the temperature is somewhere between the 160 and 175 degrees. That's the perfect temperature, and now I'm going to try to keep it stable. And I can do it by having the air vent a little bit opened at the top, and at the bottom also a small opening. This will keep the temperature nicely at somewhere between 160 and 175 degrees.
A few inches later.
The beer can chicken, it's not the only thing we're gonna eat. We're gonna make it really nice with some sweet potatoes. I'm also gonna prepare them in the kamado nicely warming up. And this is how I like them the most. We're gonna use some aluminum foil. So every piece of potato is going to be covered in 2 layers. And why 2 layers? Because if one of the layers breaks, then we always have the second one to protect the potato. So number 1. And that combined with the garlic butter with herbs. I made it before, I also made a video about it. You can also find the link there, somewhere there. After 1 hour, the flavors are all added to the meat. Nice little flavors. We're gonna put some gloves on because it's still chicken and I don't want everything to be messed up with all the bacteria. And there we go, some gloves. Then I've got myself a cast iron skillet. And what are we gonna do? We're gonna take the beer and we're gonna put a little bit on the bottom of the cast iron skillet because the meat will drip down and that will mess up your pan. It's really hard to clean. And then you need half of a can of beer. And what's the best way to make it empty? Of course, drink it. Ah, nice beer. Then we're gonna take the chicken and we're gonna put it on top of the beer can. Press it down a little bit, as you can see, and we can put the wings in the back with a little bit of patience. This is the chicken on a beer can. The chicken is prepared and now it's time to put it into the kamado. And first we're going to start with adding the potatoes into the kamado. So they will get some nice heat. They're going to take a long while since they're pretty thick. So because of the intense heat, they will become really, really nice and fluffy. Well, next step. We're going to put the cast iron grill in there. There we go. That's going to warm up. And we're going to take the chicken. And here's the thing. The best way to do this is to put the chicken with his back to the fire. So, sorry, with her back to the fire. And why is that? Because then the chest got more time to become nicely and warmed through. This is gonna be on here for like 1 hour, and after 1 hour we're gonna see and we're gonna turn up the temperature to get the skin a little bit more crispy.
One eternity later.
After 1 hour it should be looking something like this. And now it's time to get the temperature up for like 15 minutes to get that skin a little bit more crushy. A while ago I also bought this barbecue smoking crate with all kinds of wood. And for this dish we're going to use some apple wood. So let me grab 2 nice pieces or 3 out of the bag, and we're gonna add some smoke to the chicken. We're gonna take out the chicken, lift up the cast iron grill, and we're gonna add the wood nicely into this fire. It will start smoking and that will also give some extra dimension to the chicken. With this dish, I'm also gonna need a little bit of vegetables. Yes, vegetables. So I've got myself some fresh paprika and we're gonna cut it and also put it on the grill, on the kamado. So that will also give that nice barbecue flavor. So for that, we're gonna cut it, cut off the top. And then the thing is, cut it between the white parts, so you will only have fully red pieces of paprika. And number 3. Now I think it won't fit, but I'm gonna try to put everything on the grill. So opening up the grill, and as you can hear, the chicken is really getting there. It's time to plate up. Let's start. My gloves because it's really, really, really hot. Open up. Oh, that's looking amazing. The beer can chicken. Put it on the side. Got the paprika. Fresh grilled paprika. Then let's see how the potatoes are doing. Look at that. Isn't that looking tasty? That's one. Number 4. Then I'm gonna make a nice incision into them. Like butter. Really like butter. And then it's time to put the garlic butter with herbs in there. As I said, you can find the link up there or down below. I made it a couple of days ago in the freezer, so it will be nice, firm. Put it into the potatoes so it will nicely melt. Then I'm gonna grab some other herbs. I've got some chives. Roughly chop them. Add a little bit of chives. For decoration. We're gonna add the chicken. Grab myself some pepper.
A few moments later.
And everyone, this is my beer can chicken. So if you like this video, please put those thumbs up. That will really help out the channel because it's a new channel, and yeah, the more thumbs up, the more people can find me. You can also follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. You can find the links down below. If you want to see more, stay tuned because there will be more. I'm Dave from Dinner with Dave. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we're gonna see each other next time. Bye bye. We're gonna use some aluminum. We're gonna use some aluminum. We're gonna use some aluminum. We're gonna use some aluminum foil.